All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 2026 Leadership Summit. This is the fourth year that we have done this with our Leadership in Action students. They are sitting right over here. A couple rules before we get going. Phones away. Your phones will not be out. You do have your sheet. If it's up to your teachers, we'd like you to engage on that sheet to put your leadership nugget down and maybe a possible takeaway. For you guys, for participation, some of these groups will be asking for volunteers. So if you're willing to volunteer, raise your hand. They'll call you up here. Also at the end, we will have a quick Q&A with each of our groups. So think about a question, maybe how it pertains to leadership, how they have exhibited these leadership qualities in their life, what they can do best, maybe some advice for your juniors who are going to take the class next year, or any of our other leaders in organizations and whatnot. So this presentation each year is kind of like a TED Talk presentation. We're going to have two groups. They're going to have a leadership topic, and that leadership topic they're going to connect to their life, how you guys can use that in your daily habits, lives, programs, jobs, school, all of that. So they'll have about 12 to 15 minutes here with activities, discussion, takeaways, and then we'll move on to our second group, and after our second group, we will have our Q&A. Okay? So uninvited detention, please take your phones, put them away. Some groups might ask you to take your phones out, then you can do it. Volunteers are welcome. Please be present and respectful. They've worked all semester on this. We've practiced the last couple weeks. Our students over here, we have 44 of them this year, are over there. So first off, let's give them a round of applause. All right, so our first group is motivation.
Okay, our topic was motivation and leadership, and this is by Maddie, Jaden, and Sam. Who are we? My name is Jaden. I am in cheerleading, I'm in Warrior Nation Council, MCHS, and then I'm also on Pep Rally Committee.
My name is Sam. I'm in Key Club, Spanish Honors Society, and a leadership internship.
My name's Maddie. I was in flag football, lacrosse, wrestling, and senior advisory.
And today we're going to be talking about motivation and leadership. We'll talk about why leaders need to stay motivated even when things go wrong, and how continuing to push forward can help your whole team succeed.
Okay, so first I'm going to need 2 volunteers. I need 2 volunteers. Yeah, could you come up? And then you can come up. Okay. So first we're going to have you guys have a piece of paper, and you guys are going to try and build an origami shape. So if you guys could come back here. And just come around to this side. Okay, here's your piece of paper. And then the audience, you guys are going to be giving them the instructions. They won't be able to see what's on the board. You guys have to tell them what to do, okay? So, and they have 2 minutes. So ready, set, go.
Hold it in half.
Put the corners together.
Crease it. Crease it, yeah.
Do it again. Do it again. Unfold it. Do it
Other
again.
side. Other corner. Other corner to corner. Yes, good. Go fix that. I'm giving them instructions. All right, you got it. Just punch that part.
It's okay.
Yep, that.
Crease it. Crease it.
Yep. I don't know how to explain that.
Unfold. A diamond shape.
Open it.
Open it.
Open it. Hold it like a diamond.
Hold it like a diamond.
You guys
Hold it
have
in the
fun
middle.
now.
You have 1 minute left.
All right, you're out of time.
Okay, so next you guys, good try, it was going to be a heart. So good try. Next you guys are going to do it again, but this time you guys will be able to see the instructions. So, and you guys can still help them, okay? So, okay, here's your second sheet of paper.
And then here are your instructions.
Ready, set, go.
All that. You guys can, you got it. Look behind you. Look behind you. Hot dog style. Hot dog. Hot dog style. Hot dog. The other way. Hot dog. Hot dog. That's hamburger style. The other way. Yup, yup, yup. Ah, yeah. There we go, like hot dog. Come on, you got it. It's just a piece of paper. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, what? Give it like a hook.
You guys have 1 minute left.
Let's go. There we go. That's a hot dog. I don't know how to explain the next step. All right. Hey,
You guys have 30 seconds.
You guys can look at the paper, by the way. No, I don't think you do that yet. I think you have to pull it back to that. You gotta pull it like a hamburger now. Man, we are not mixing those.
10 seconds. All right, time's up.
Good job. You guys got really close on this one. Good job, good job. We have a couple questions for you. Which one did you feel more like you could do it?
So I felt more confident in the one where I actually had comprehensive instructions.
Yeah, that's good. Did you feel like you were a little confused during the first one?
Yes, I definitely felt confused with all the directions from all the way around.
Thank you so much for coming up here. We have a treat for you on the side. Okay, so that just shows how having multiple leaders can sometimes make it a little bit more challenging and it can help the team lose motivation. So we want to make sure that when we're leading a group, everybody understands what the end goal is and that we all have communication on what we need to be doing to get it done so that we all stay motivated throughout the challenge.
Okay, and then this is our leadership nugget. It is continue on even when something goes wrong. Basically what this means is if leaders panic or give up, that means the team will probably give up in the end. And then by continuing on, you show the confidence that you have in your group to overcome the challenges that you guys will face. Wait, keep it there. All right. And then we also did an interview, but the person wanted to stay anonymous. We asked them, have you ever almost quit something but kept going, and what made you keep trying? They said I had almost quit my sport due to stress and just draining myself and losing motivation for the sport. Because of how much that they were overdoing it, what made them keep trying was remembering their end goal and how much they had been working for that. And then we asked them, do you think attitude is contagious on a team, and why? They said that I do think the attitude is contagious on a team because if someone is hanging their head or even just giving off a negative vibe, it will end up bringing the whole team down. And then the last question that we asked them was, what is worse for a team, a mistake or a leader that gives up? They said that they think a leader who gives up is worse because if the person who is leading your team decides to give up on the team, everything will eventually fall apart, leading to the team not succeeding.
Okay, and then we took a survey looking at some ways people feel motivated. So the first one was when something goes wrong, how much does the leader's initial reaction affect your motivation? So a majority of the people felt that it would affect them a lot. And so that just reminds you that as a leader, you need to make sure that you're keeping your team motivated by having a good reaction to even when something goes wrong. And then also we looked at what helps people stay motivated the most, and after failure, what helps them reset the fastest. So just overall understanding what helps your team stay motivated and understanding what helps them reset after failure is very important when leading a team.
And then here's some more data. We found that positive leadership improves performance. A study of 245 varsity athletes and 86 coaches found that when coaches showed more positive emotions early in the season, player performance increases by 3.3%. And then leaders' attitudes affect the whole team. Research shows that a leader's positive attitude often spreads to the team, increasing employee engagement and motivation, while negative attitudes can lower the engagement. And then positive teams perform better overall. Studies summarized in the happiness habit advantage found that teams with a positive leadership had 37% higher sales, 31% higher productivity, and then 31% higher accuracy.
And then these are our personal connections to motivation. My story is just continuing to have motivation through wrestling and lacrosse, and just trying to keep motivation to get through those seasons with, especially with all the homework that I have.
And then my story is continuing to have motivation in the sport after losing the love for it, which helped me eventually find it again. Through my earlier seasons of high school, I literally hated going to cheerleading, and then I switched gyms, and then I found my love again for cheer, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
So mine is about piano. I've been playing piano since I was really young, and over time I started to hate playing it, and I didn't look forward to any of the like lessons or anything, and I hated practicing. And I had a really bad recital over Christmas time, and it really made me realize how much I didn't want to feel that way anymore about it, and it really motivated me to do better. So now I've been practicing and stuff, and I recently had a piano test, and I did really well on it, so it just kind of showed how having higher motivation after failure helps me to reset and do better.
And then this is our nugget again for anyone that didn't get it, but this is just connecting it back to our whole presentation. So throughout our presentation, we gave you guys examples from an interview, from ourselves, and even through our activity. It just really goes to show that keeping motivation throughout times when they get hard or if they may seem difficult to you is really important and is a key aspect to leadership. So yeah, that's our presentation.
All right, thank you guys. That was motivation. Again, if you have questions for them, save them for the end. Our second group, come on up and set the example.
is Alexa, and I am a part of the girls wrestling team here. I've been a part of HOSA, and I've also been a part of the Spanish Honor Society.
Hi, I'm Lila. I play softball. I'm in MCHS, Spanish Honor Society, and I also did flag football. Okay, this is just a video about ways to lead by example.
And today we're talking about how to lead by example. And if you really boil it down, this means being a role model in your values and in your behaviors. And those things have to match up. So let's look at 4 ways that you can do this. The first is that your words have to match your actions. If you're saying that everybody should do something, you have to do it too. You have to be the leader. You don't want to be one of those people who says, do as I say, not as I do. That's really hypocritical, and no one wants to follow leaders like that. In fact, years ago, I worked in restaurants, and there was a sign on the time clock one day from the manager who said, employees are no longer allowed to eat breadsticks or losing money on breadsticks. And then lo and behold, later that same shift, there's the general manager eating a breadstick out of the bin. That sets a really bad example. No one wants to follow a leader that handles himself that way. You have to be willing to do everything that you're asking other people to do. Now, you don't have to do it the whole time, but you have to be willing to do it. So years ago, again, I worked at a pizza place, and Mike, this awesome manager, hired me, and he was showing me how to do the dishes. And he said, here, this is how you get the dough off of the trays. And he did a couple of the trays, and I said, okay, I can take over now if you want me to. And he said, oh yeah, that's great, you can take over. But I just want you to know, Alex, I never ask anybody to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. And I've known Mike for years, and he leads by example. That's what we want to do. Our actions and our words have to match. Tip number 2, see a need, take action. Whether the need is really big, like a really tough project that no one's quite sure how to solve, if you see that need, move in that direction, take action to solve that problem. Or you can take initiative on really small things. Let's say you're at a group meeting, and instead of just worrying about your participation in the meeting, maybe you notice that someone that's there that has something to offer really isn't very talkative. Maybe you can draw them out in a polite way. You might say, hey John, what were your thoughts on this? It seems like you had some good ideas. And you draw John into the discussion. That's leading by example because you're seeing a need and you're taking action. These can be large or small. Tip number 3, live by a higher personal code than the organization is asking you to do. Now, I know a lot of organizations have corporate value statements and things like that. But a lot of times you'll see there'll be certain managers and certain groups of people who will cut corners and fudge the numbers and mess around to get what they're trying to get. That's going to hurt their credibility. You want to hold yourself to a higher standard because if you're a leader, you live in a fishbowl. People are going to notice every little thing you do, and you don't want to be seen making ethical and moral compromises. People hold leaders to a higher standard, and you have to hold yourself to a higher standard. Tip number 4, you want to bring out the best in the people around you. This means coaching them up, teaching them, mentoring them, and do it in a helpful way. You don't want to be bossy or always be someone who's giving advice. That's going to push people away. You want to do it in an inviting, encouraging way. The best coaches, the best leaders I have ever had look for ways that they can help develop me and move me forward.
Alrighty, so the what and why of our presentation, we're just going to talk about why leaders should set an example, and our why is going to be that people pay the most attention to what a leader does rather than what they just say, and how setting an example builds trust, respect, credibility, motivation, and ultimately just sets the standard for others.
Okay, next we did a survey. For our first question, we asked how often do you follow the rules even when a teacher or supervisor isn't present. And for the most part, everybody said they do follow the rules. And then to what extent do you feel that seeing a classmate follow the rules makes it easier for you to do the same? The majority of people also said yes, which means a lot of people look at what others are doing. And then our third question except they're going to be listening to what I'm saying and have to do what I'm saying, but also while watching me, and I'm not going to be doing what I'm saying. And they have to see how like long they can actually get. You guys understand? So I'm going to be drawing the teacher. You guys have to watch me the whole time. What? So you have to do what I'm saying, not what I think. Okay? Okay, ready? Okay, touch your nose. Touch your shoulders.
Nice.
Okay. Touch your toes. Touch your forehead. Touch your elbow. Touch your ears. Touch your hips. Touch your chin. Touch your knees. Touch your cheeks. Okay, Ellie, I know you're out. You're out. Oh, wait. We did it. Okay, ready again. Okay, touch your nose. Touch your shoulders. Touch your knees.
Ellie, you're out. Ellie, you're out. Gosh.
Sorry.
Poor Ellie.
Wait, touch your forehead. Touch your elbow. Touch your ears. Touch your hips. Touch your chin. Touch your knees. Touch your chin. Okay. Okay, we're gonna stop it there because you guys are really good at this.
They weren't supposed to be this good at.
Wait, was it hard to like watch what I was doing but listen to what I was saying?
Absolutely.
Do you guys all agree?
Yeah.
The whole point was not to look good. Okay. You guys are good to go. Thank you guys. Okay. Okay, the whole point of that was if you're gonna like lead somebody and talk to somebody like through something, you have to do what you're saying and not just like do the opposite. Because it's a lot harder for somebody to like follow you if you're doing the opposite of what you're saying.
Sit down.
Okay, these are more ways that you can lead by example. So first, take responsibility. If you're blaming other people, you're not going to be able to grow and like show that you are a good leader. And then also use integrity. Use honesty. Like don't lie to people or like just say what you mean because also it's going to like create a misunderstanding and there's not going to be good communication. Also make sure you acknowledge failure. Show other people that it's okay to fail and like that's important when growing. Be persistent. Don't just give up. Show people that it's okay to try over and over again. And then also create solutions. That kind of goes with the one before it. Like make sure you're not just giving up and try to like find a way to work around it. Listen to what other people are saying. Listening is more powerful than talking. It shows that you really care about people and that you truly care what they have to say and like you're not just there to like boss them but like actually have a true like connection. And then also make sure you're taking care of yourself. Like take a break and make sure that you're like in the right like mindset because if you're not going to be able to set a good example and lead people the way that you should.
This is our leadership nugget. The leadership nugget is the best leaders do not just say what is important, but consistently back it up through their actions. This quote basically just means and explains how leaders shouldn't just speak what they want to happen, but they also have to participate with the group and team to show them not only how it's done, but like why you should do it. Did you guys get that or no?
No. Through their actions.
your team like advocates for like a good atmosphere, like high energy, everybody stay positive. But you go in and you're very negative, like always in a bad mood, not really wanting to be there. It brings the whole team's like energy down. Like you kind of like set the example. You go in with a good energy, like a positive, like yeah, you're just very positive. Then obviously like the whole team automatically gets brought up, and it like kind of sets the example for the team.
For my personal connection, I really see by setting the example through wrestling, especially this year when there was a lot of new girls that joined. They didn't really know how to handle some wins and especially losses, so they looked up to the girls that had some more experience than them. And depending on how we handle those tough losses or matches or meets or duels, is how that they were going to do it too. So if we threw a fit about it, didn't have good sportsmanship and things like that, they were going to follow into that. So what we try to do is just show them like we can't handle everything and that there's going to be some wins and losses throughout the season.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about Key Club. So I know sometimes it can be easy to like volunteer and just be there because like you need the hours for like Key Club or like NHS or anything like that. But it's important to like set the example and like try to get the most out of it. Like if you go and you like actually want to be there and like are really involved in what you're doing, it's gonna set the example for other people and everyone's gonna get more out of the experience. Okay, thank you.
All right, anyone has questions for either of these groups? Go ahead.
Don't all ask at once.
What was your favorite part about it?
My favorite part about doing this was basically just working with each other on how to just start it all and come up with ideas of how we were going to present it.
Yeah, you're next.
Okay.
Yep.
I would agree with that. I would say my favorite part was also like working with my friends and like working on a topic that like we actually like wanted to talk about and cared about and knew that it was important. I liked finding like the activities and videos and things like that as well.
I also feel like it was kind of interesting to kind of look deeper into how, like, for example, like motivation and leadership connected to my own personal like story with like sports and stuff like that.
How did you guys choose your topics?
We were all kind of given a list, but like we just chose a topic that was like kind of interesting to us and like we thought we would be able to do. So that's kind of like what we picked our topic.
Yeah, throughout the year in Leadership in Action, we read this book, and there are leadership nuggets that we come up with as groups that we do many presentations in with our class. So throughout the year, we have all these leadership nuggets in our notebook, and we got to pick from those.
I think also it was just something that I related to, like having higher motivation was something that helps me.
You said like in the beginning how it can be like confusing when you have multiple leaders. So how did you guys like decide like who's gonna do what in the group and work together like as a team?
I know for us, we kind of like went off of what we knew we could talk about like the best and knew that it was like more personal to us, I guess. So we just like decided based on who wanted to do it and like cared about those topics.
I think also just like delegating the work, like just assigning people to do things because we all were willing to do things.
How do you guys stay motivated?
I think just having a positive attitude helps me to stay motivated.
Yeah, I feel like really remembering your end goal and like what you've been working towards really helps me stay motivated.
I would say I kind of stayed motivated too because like throughout the whole year, this was like the final project for like this class. Like it was talked about from the beginning, so like it was kind of like exciting to come to it. So like you just had to like remember.
I feel like for me, no matter what it is, like people around me is what motivates me and doing it for them.
Oh, Emily.
Are you happy you chose the class?
Yeah, I really did love the class, and I loved like, kind of, especially like with the group, with the people I worked with, and like working with the adjusted learners. I feel like it was really fun and like a new experience. I feel like it taught me things that I can use in my future.
I'm also really happy I chose the class. It helped me like bond with people that I never thought I would really talk to. And then I also love going with the adjusted learners. I never thought I would do it, but now I go every Friday, and they're the sweetest kids ever.
Okay, yeah, I also really like the class. I feel like it's like not your typical class. You get to do a lot of different things like Pride Camp, going to the freshman campus, working with the adjusted learners. So it's just a good way to start your morning.
Yeah, I'd also say another reason, like, kind of going off that, I really like the class because of how interactive it is. You're not, like, always in a classroom. Like, a lot of times we're not even in the warrior room for class. So it's, like, it's just different.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of like a self-reflection thing. Like if you feel as if you're losing motivation, I feel like it's like important to kind of go back and like see where you did start to lose that motivation and like how you can change it.
I think just setting new goals that are realistic and having other people helping you to achieve them.
For me, keeping motivation is just reminding myself what the end goal was and why I started. And along with that is something even we learned in this class is having small steps towards that goal that we have and just doing those one at a time.
Yeah, I feel like kind of just taking a break and like reflecting to figure out like where you lost motivation and figuring out like why you had it in the first place so that way that you can like gain it back.
How do you guys handle criticism?
I would say I handle criticism by like not taking it personally. Like a lot of people could like criticize you like off of just judgment, not necessarily like who you are like personally. So just like don't take it personally.
Yeah, I guess like kind of take what you want from it, especially like with sports and stuff. Like if you're there to get better, then you're gonna want like the criticism, and just I guess also like reflect from what people say. And in a leadership position, like you want criticism, so you know how people like perceive you, and it just helps you be a better leader.
It just really depends on how you want to take it. You can take it either as criticism or as feedback on ways to be better and even lead better.
I think also understanding where they're coming from and just understanding their perspective on you and how they see you.
Yeah, I feel like keeping an open mind is really important to like criticism. Like if someone gives you criticism, there's obviously something that you could improve on. It just depends on how you take that.
You just have to like realize people aren't doing it to hurt you, they're just doing it to make you better.
What's something that surprised you about the class?
For me, something that really surprised me is I kind of went into it just to have a fun class, if I'm being honest, but I really learned a lot of life lessons that I think will teach me for the future and how I handle my relationships and things in my life, like problems and how to come up with solutions for them.
I think just the extra opportunities we got, I didn't realize that we would be able to help around this school so much, and that was really fun for me.
I feel like something that also really surprised me was kind of how like collaborative the class is with your like the people in the class. Like I didn't think that we would be like kind of talking so much together as we do, and I feel like I really like that aspect of the class.
What's the most important lesson you've learned this class?
The most important lesson I've like learned is kind of just to stay confident. Cause like especially your leader, you're gonna get a lot of criticism. Like you're definitely like putting yourself out there, but like if you stay confident, like you can do a lot more than like you think you can, and like you actually will like go accomplish like what you want to accomplish.
For me, I think I really learned about growth mindset. It's something we kept repeating in this class, and it's just the way you look at things and wanting to get better every day. So that changed how I look at a lot of things.
I think for me, just like going with the flow a little bit more, especially at freshman campus, just like learning how to work with kids and like just going with what they were interested in.
I think mine was probably how important like relationships are when leading people. You have to be like more of a friend than just like trying to have all the control and power over people. So you have to like really make sure you're listening and understanding how to be the best leader for different like personalities.
All right, let's give a round of applause to the students. All right, thank you guys for coming. If you guys are back, there will be different presentations. If you're coming back in a different class period, thank you for being present, being respectful. Have a great day. front. Come towards the front of the stage.
This isn't behind you. You can sit right here. But I'm putting my backpack right here.
Check in with your teacher, then come towards the front of the stage. Ask your teacher where you're sitting.
No, you can sit anywhere. Hi, Miss Kinolik. I wasn't here yesterday because I had a field trip with that guy. Didn't interest me. I didn't like it. Yeah. Though I did bowling and I won. I missed you though.
Move down, move down. Somebody at the top. What's going to happen?
Yeah, we're all down in here.
Sitting on the bottom half. Bottom half. Everybody their seats on the bottom.
Love it, Mr. Warburton. That's leadership, baby. Let's go. Love it. Get phones away. Disrespected Lunkin Bomer.
All right, hustle up, get to your seats towards the front. Sit near your teacher so they can quickly take a sentence. We would like to start very soon.
Wide open.
Make sure you take your AirPods out. Take your AirPods out.
All right, good morning. Quickly take a seat. Hopefully you have a handout in front of you. We will use those throughout the presentations. Again, welcome to the 2026 Leadership Summit. This is our fourth year doing this. It is something our Leadership in Action students right here have been preparing for most of the year. In the last couple weeks, they've had put a lot of work into this. So a couple rules here. Phones are away. We will not see any phones out. Please sit up straight. You're present. You're not talking. You're not snacking. Your attention is focused on our speakers here. We will need possible volunteers. If you're willing to volunteer, raise your hand. They'll call you up. And at the end, please have some questions ready for each of our groups. We have two groups that are presenting. Our first one will be perception. The Q&A will also allow them to speak more about their topics. These presentations, about 12 to 15 minutes each, kind of like a TED Talk, so a TED Talk style, where they are going to introduce a topic, and each group has a leadership nugget. The leadership nugget is kind of their way of discussing the topic, making connections, so on your sheet you have a takeaway as well. So please, all of your attention directed towards our speakers. First, let's give a round of applause to our Leadership in Action students that are over here. All right, our first group is perception.
What's up, everybody? My name is Dayton. I'm involved with football, or I play football and basketball, and I'm involved in senior advisory.
I'm Ava, and I'm in MCHS and track.
I'm Abby, and I do girls golf in high school, and I'm also involved in Warrior Buddies and senior advisory.
My name is Ben, and I did soccer and a tiny bit of lacrosse.
My name is Sawyer, and I swim, I do water polo, I'm in senior advisory, and I'm the bassist for a band called Tone Deaf. So we have a quote by Robert Davies: "The eye only sees what the mind comprehends." Basically, that means you can only envision what your mind allows you to envision. Example, if you're in math class, and you look over, you see a group of friends, they're all laughing. You know, maybe they're taking a few glances at you. You can automatically assume the worst. You can assume, oh my gosh, they're laughing at me. I'm doing something that's really embarrassing or awkward. Or you can assume the not worst. You can assume, oh, they're a bunch of friends, they're laughing at whatever joke. It's the perception of what you want reality to be, that's what you make it in your mind.
All right, so next for our Ignite, we're gonna put a word on the board, and you're gonna say the first thing that comes to your mind, okay? So our word is failure. So if some of you guys wanna raise your hand and say the first word that came to your mind. Avery? Disappointment? Anyone else? So this is the first word that came to your mind. Natalie? Fear? Adam?
Sadness.
Sadness?
Unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful? Underperformance? Anyone else? So you can tell that everyone has a different word and different lens when the word comes up, so it just shows that not everyone thinks of the same thing when you're given the same word.
So next we have a little definition of perception. Perception is a way of regarding, understanding, or interpreting something. It's a mental impression. Perception is what makes leaders different. It allows each and every person to have a different outlook on challenges and life as a whole. Perception for a high schooler shapes like your friendships, your relationships, and how you view social situationships. Because your emotions and reactions, everyone sees things through their own lens, so misunderstandings happen very easily, especially at our age. And this affects people with things like confidence and connections with others.
Alright, so these are some personal stories about perception from Dean Sawyer. So mine is in basketball. I was having kind of a rough day at school. I had a lot going on at home, and I was kind of in my head a lot, and I was kind of going through the motions at practice, like I was doing what I needed to do, but like I wasn't putting in like 2-12 effort, which is for basketball. 2-12 is the boiling point of water, and that's kind of where we need to be in our effort and our attitude and stuff. So basically, I wasn't really giving 2-12. I was maybe like 150, just kind of going through the motions. And Coach Nemec was kind of giving me an earful, like getting on my butt, and I was like, dang, why is he doing this to me? Like, he's kind of being an asshole to me. Like, this is dumb. At the end of practice, he talked to me. He's like, hey, it's never personal. Like, he asked me what was going on. I kind of talked to him about it, and he's like, it's never personal when we're coaching you hard. Like, we're trying to make you better not only as a player but as a person. And yeah, I mean, it's never personal when the coaches are like coaching you hard, or like they're pushing you to like your breaking point. Like, they're trying to get the best out of you to help the cause.
for me, so when I first started out playing water polo my freshman year, during practice, we would do drills, conditioning, as you do at practice. But something I would notice is no matter how good or okay I did, I would always get yelled at by my teammates and my coach to do better, to get up and finish down and whatever else. I felt targeted. I was always getting yelled at, and it wasn't until later in the year where I realized they're just trying to have me improve. You're never perfect. Even when you think you're doing really good, you can always do better. And so later in the year, I switched my perception from them hating me and always yelling at me to them only wanting me to do my best. And to now as a senior, I still have that perception, and I try to portray that onto the freshmen now.
All right, so next we're gonna do our activity. So we need 3 volunteers.
It's a drawing activity.
We need 3 people. It's a drawing activity.
We need 2 more.
Don't make us pick for you.
One more.
Blake.
Come on, Blake.
DeNovo.
I meant Blake DeNovo, not Blake Michael.
Blake DeNovo.
Wait, here.
Okay, so basically we're going to have 2 drawers, one on each side of the whiteboard, and then one person is going to be an explainer. So one of these 3 people is going to have a card with something that they're supposed to be drawing, while someone stands behind them and explains to the person on the other side of the board what they're drawing, and then we're going to show you what they both drew to see like how, even though only one person has direction, they could be drawing 2 different things based on one person, what one person is saying and how they perceive their directions. Okay, so she's going to be our drawer. She's the one with the card. She knows what she's supposed to be drawing. He's going to explain what she's drawing to Blake, and Blake's going to draw what he's being told to draw. If that makes sense.
She's drawing 2 circles, a line going left, far, and then a little box. Wheels. There's a box in the top right corner. No, in the square of the car. What is this? Looks like a banana on the far line. Kind of like a chair, has 4 lines going down. Yeah. There's a little circle at the top of the banana with like cat ears. Just making like a little top hat on top of the circle on the banana. Yeah, like over the ears. She's putting little dots in the banana. Yeah, like it's a brownie. She's adding 2 more wheels under the banana. Oh, it's a giraffe. It's a giraffe. So the banana is a giraffe. That's what that is. Still going. Alright, she's done.
The actual prompt was a pickup truck, and the back of it was a giraffe wearing a top hat. So, good job, guys. You guys did amazing.
So that just kind of shows how they were working kind of towards the same thing, but hearing different words, you can get a different perspective on it and have a different end result.
So the why of our presentation, our why is rooted in the idea that perception shapes how others interpret a leader's actions, intentions, and decisions. Even when a leader means well, unclear or misunderstood actions can create confusion or weaken trust within the team. Without awareness of how they are perceived, leaders risk sending mixed messages or appearing inconsistent. When leaders actively consider perception, they can communicate more clearly, align their actions with their intentions, and respond more thoughtfully to others. This awareness helps them build credibility and show respect for different perspectives. Over time, strong perception leads to greater trust, stronger relationships, and a more unified, effective team. This is our survey. The data is kind of messed up because we were surveying high school students. So not everyone really puts down how they feel, they just put what sounds right. So basically we were asking, how often do you consider others' perspectives before making a decision? So 54% of people said pretty often. We asked, do you think people see the same situation differently? And most people said yes. And then we asked, do you think perception is influenced by past experiences? And everyone said yes.
So this is the leadership nugget. This is what you guys will be writing down on your papers. So leaders often assume their message is clear, but perception affects how people understand instructions. So what this means is that great leaders check for understanding, they ask questions, and they communicate clearly to make sure everyone is on the same page. We're gonna leave it up there for a little bit so you guys can write it down. All right, is everyone good? No. No? All right. Okay, we're gonna move on. So this is our connection to leadership. So if someone is in let's say a leadership role, like a teacher or a coach, and they are confident, they know what they're talking about, and it's like, you can just tell, like, they know what they're talking about. That leaves a good perspective on you guys, and it makes you guys want to trust them, right? But if that same person in a leadership role is being negative, or has no clue what they're talking about, or is quiet, then it makes it seem like they don't really know what they're doing. You can't really trust them. So leadership relies on trust. You can't earn that trust if the people you are leading don't have a bad perspective on you.
So here's a couple of things that we want you guys to take away from our presentation. Never think that everyone understands your message without checking in with them. Like you saw from our activity, like they both were told to draw the same thing, but they looked completely different. And because when you don't check in with people and see how they're thinking about the situation, you don't know if everyone's on the same page. I could tell you the same thing 100 times, and all of you could take it differently, and I wouldn't know that unless I checked in with you personally. Take time to explain things with detail. That kind of goes with our first bullet point, like just making sure that you're not being vague with instructions, and making sure that you're giving the most detail possible so no one feels like they don't understand something or missed something. when you explain things with detail, it's harder for people to get lost or not understand you. And then be willing to look at things in a different perspective to reach success within a team or group. Yeah, just making sure that you have an open mind and are willing to look at things from a different perspective, from someone else's perspective, because it might help you guys be more successful instead of turning like something like into like a dead end. It's like a new way to reach your end goal. And that's it. Thank you.
All right, good job, guys. Next group, we have balance.
All right, so our presentation today is going to be on balance. So I kind of want to start off with a little bit of an ignite. So I want everyone to close their eyes and imagine their day-to-day life. What time do you guys wake up in the morning? What time do you leave for school? How much time do you leave yourself to get ready? When you're going through your school day, how much work do you get assigned to you? How stressful are your classes? When the day ends, do you go to work? Do you go home? Do you have practice? How much time do you have to spend with your friends and with your family? What time do you go to bed at night? You guys can all open your eyes now, and hopefully you took some time to reflect and realize your day-to-day life can get very, very hectic, and it's hard to manage everything that needs to get done if you don't have balance. This leads us into our introduction.
Okay, so now we're going to explain a little bit about who we each are. So I'm Ashley, I'm involved in Key Clubs, on the dance team in MCHS. And so basically starting junior year, I got 2 jobs. I was dancing for 2 different places. I had a lot going on in my clubs and all along like doing a lot of schoolwork. So all of that added up and it really became hard for me to balance everything. And so through that I had to learn how important it was to prioritize things. So I learned that different people prioritize different things in their life, so what may be important to me might not be as important to someone else. So through that, yeah, I learned balance, and I think everyone needs to learn what they're passionate about in order to put the most effort into the things that they care the most about.
Hi, I'm Kira. I'm also involved in Key Club. I'm also involved on the dance team and ballet outside of school. For me, my personal journey with balance, I feel like in my sophomore and freshman year, I focused a lot on my academics and I was like studying for multiple hours a day. And that kind of like took away from my social life and extracurriculars. And I think now I've gotten a lot better at that. Gotten way more involved in things like Key Club and dance, and that's been very beneficial to me.
I'm Caitlin. I'm also involved in Key Club and then also in Warrior Buddies. And for me, I'm the type of person who had absolutely no balance. Like before this year, I had no time management, nothing. And then starting this class and realizing how important balance is to leadership as a whole, I kind of had to learn how to balance my life out and get all of that sorted.
Hi, I'm Marissa. I'm on the dance team and I also dance outside of school. And it's kind of hard to balance both things at once because it is very time consuming because I'm pretty much dancing every day of the week. But even like starting senior year with like college, it's really important to like balance all my schoolwork. So I feel like this class and just in general has really helped me be able to be better at like time management. So this is our leadership nugget. It's strong leaders strive for balance in order to remain present, productive, and passionate. And going off of that, we have like 3 main points. So being present, which is like being able to stay in the moment and be available for your team and your organization. And then being productive, which is following through on things to get done, making sure that you're doing them efficiently as well. And then being passionate is staying excited and engaged. If you're not like going into it with an open mind and really getting like yourself excited for it, then it's just not going to be as motivating. So overall, without balance, any like you can suffer and it can lead to like burnout. So it's really important to make sure that you are staying through with your activities.
Did everyone write that down? That's good. Okay. So now we're going to go into the activity. So we need one volunteer. So. Okay, I'm going to pick someone like that. Oh, yeah? Great. Come. What's your name? Great. So what we're going to do, this is going to show balance. So Connor is going to hold the stick, and then he's going to look at his palm. So while he's looking at his palm, the stick represents his life and everything that he has going on. So he's going to look at his palm, and this is resonating with what he's done in the past, that he can't get past. And then we're going to stack the books on top of his other hand one by one, and he's going to try to balance the stick. So each of the books, one represents, yeah, for sure. So one of the books represents like the amount of homework that he may have to do with different classes. Or the next one is like different relationships. Different relationships and friendships that he has to balance. And also different activities or sports. Great. Okay. That's good. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Connor. So basically through this, we could see how difficult it was since he had all the things going on. He was trying to look at the bottoms. He was trying to look at his past self and reflecting on it, all while trying to hold the other books in his other hand. So that all adding up became really difficult for him, and it was hard to balance everything together.
All right, this brings us to our survey results. So we got access to the panorama data, which is the survey that we all take as a whole school at the beginning of the year. And we focused on three key aspects of it, which is growth mindset, self-efficacy, and self-management. With a growth mindset, only about 38% of our entire student body responded that they felt they had a good grasp on a growth mindset, which is detrimental to balance and balance within leadership, because if you don't have a growth mindset and you don't have the ability to believe you can succeed after failure, you're not going to want to manage all the struggles you have in your day-to-day life, which makes it very hard to focus on your responsibilities and roles as a leader. And then with self-efficacy and your ability to believe that you can succeed, only about another 39% of our student body felt that they had a strong self-efficacy, which is bad because if you don't believe in yourself and your ability to handle everything in your day-to-day life, again, you're not going to be able to manage all of your responsibilities and tasks and relationships, and things start to fall apart if you can't give everything the proper attention they need. And then with self-management, about 68% said that they feel confident, which is good, a step up, but still not as much as we'd like to see. And this is also important to balance and to leadership, because if you can't self-manage, how are you going to complete anything in your day-to-day life? So all three of these connect into balance and our leadership and remaining present, passionate, and productive.
And that kind of leads us into like some strategies to help you guys. Obviously, this is something we can all work on. I know as high schoolers, we're kind of like working with balancing everything in our lives. So first, choose what's important to you. There's so many different things to get involved in, but you have to like kind of prioritize what means most to you. Even if you want to do everything, you can't, which is a hard lesson to be learned. So prioritize school, obviously, get your homework done, and then be selective with extracurriculars to choose what matters most to you, as well as get a plan and schedule. Honestly, a calendar is super life-changing. Like, I use my phone calendar all the time. It's super helpful just so you know what's going on in your life. And also ask for help. There's nothing wrong with taking a load off your shoulders, like Connor, and having someone else help you with the work. And then taking care of yourself, like getting enough rest, eating all your meals, like taking that time for yourself is so important.
Okay.
Okay, now we need 2 different volunteers for the second part of our activity. It's really fun. Please volunteer. One more person? Okay, so this time now we're gonna have 2 people up here. So one person will be holding the pipe, and then the other person is going to be helping out with like holding the book. So basically, so he's gonna hold the pipe, and Kira is going to put
And now you can look at the top, so you don't have to look at the bottom anymore.
So then the other person, he's gonna be able to hold the books and be able to help balance so that the stick stays upwards and doesn't fall along with the books.
Okay, so why was this so much easier this time doing it? So David, when he was able to hold the future stick, he was able to look at the top of it. So he was able to look at where he was going in the future and his goals. And then we also had someone to help hold the book, so help take away some of the responsibilities that was weighing him down. So it was a lot easier for him to manage, so he was able to hold the stick and focus on his goals in the future, while someone else was able to help take the pressure off of him, and they were able to share their responsibilities. So this is important to have good support systems in your life, so that everyone's able to take equal parts and that everyone can succeed.
Okay, and then just to recap again, we're all super busy, we all have a lot going on in our lives, and it can definitely be hard to maintain balance. But just really working on foundational things like getting a calendar, asking for help, implementing those strategies. Your foundation is so important. Without that, you can't be a good leader. So just working on these things. And I put some of our favorite resources up here for you guys. Like my Google Calendar. I love my Google Calendar. I put everything in there. I put an app. It's like a focus buddy. So if you're ever working on like homework and you want to stay off your phone, he's like knitting socks, and you interrupt his knitting if you go on your phone, which is very rude, and you would not want to do that. So that helps a lot. And Ashley, she likes to use sticky notes, so I put that up there as an example, just to remind her of all the things that she has to do. And then some of our mental health resources, they're all linked on the school website. Like you can watch live animals on the San Diego Zoo website, and I feel like that's very relaxing. Or we have our suicide and crisis lifeline if you ever need it or need someone to talk to. Quick Draw, another relaxing fun game, and of course our school counselors. Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, now is your time to ask both of these groups questions, whether it's about the class, their topics, their journeys, whatever it is, and a few of them will respond as we go. So if you have some questions, please raise your hand.
I chose this class because I heard of like the different opportunities I had from working with Warrior Buddies to working fresh on campus, just kind of being more involved in the school. I really before senior year was really only involved in like sports, and this class really helped me branch out to like different opportunities, to, like make an impact in the school.
I chose this class because I remember my freshman year, the senior leaders, and I thought that was really cool, and I always wanted to be one, and now I am.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just like a very like social person, and I
class was a great way to connect with people that I really thought I would never talk to. And I also had a really great leader my freshman year, so that kind of was also what inspired me to join this class.
I feel like just the community it builds. Like you get to go to the freshman campus, you get to interact with the adjusted learners. Like everything you get to do, it makes you feel more connected with the school and just, it's like kind of a break in your day too, because you're more just like talking to others and like helping out around the school rather than just like listening to lectures or doing a worksheet. Like it really gives you a break.
If you've had stage fright, how do you get over it?
Stage fright?
Yeah.
I feel like in this class we do a lot of like presentations, and our class is pretty big. We have like 40 something kids in our class. So I feel like over time, and especially like throughout high school, like I feel like all the presentations I've done, it's just kind of not really a big deal to me anymore.
Or like I think it's like just fake it to make it. Like if you go up and that happen, no one's gonna know any different.
Yeah. Also, like practice makes perfect. They gave us a million different opportunities to practice. Starting off small, it's just a summary of our presentation, and then we all had a chance to get up here and like run through our whole thing all together. So just practicing and knowing like we had to do it definitely helps.
Going with that, along with practice, which helps a lot, when I present, I lock in. I don't imagine all the eyes on me. I don't imagine everyone staring at me. Because in the end, no one will most likely remember this presentation. You won't walk out of here remembering, oh my gosh, he messed this up or anything. Like, it's all a blur.
I feel like as well too, like I know like sometimes like you guys might do just like presentations by yourself, but especially for this project, we're presenting with other people, which also really helps knowing that like you're not the only one up here, like there's other people around you that are helping you.
One thing I think will help a lot is taking dual cred speech. Honestly, it helps way more than you think. I highly recommend taking dual cred speech.
The way that I learned to speak in front of people is just like honestly starting off small. So speaking in front of like smaller crowds of people, just getting your opinion out, it really helps you to learn and be more confident and comfortable in talking in front of a larger group.
What's one takeaway you guys got from leadership in action throughout the whole year?
One for me is taking accountability for your actions. We spent like a whole a week about it, and like it really made me think like something I need to work on for sure. So that's a big takeaway for me is being more accountable, and if I mess up, own up to it. It was my fault.
For me, for sure, just like relationships and like community. You will talk to so many diverse people if you take this class, and you'll befriend people that like you never thought you would be friends with, or like you've known someone for a while, and the class will just help to like really strengthen your friendship. It's just community, not just with the kids in the class, though, like with the freshmen too, and just across the school.
I kind of learned, like, if you have an idea or something that you want in the school, just ask. Like, there's so many people you can talk to, whether it's Stangle or, like, our teachers. Like, there's volunteer opportunities that we were able to make for you guys. Like, if you have an idea or if you're passionate about something, you can just, like, go for it, talk to the right people, and you can make it happen.
I'd say, like, how to be a leader in, like, different forms and, like, knowing when to step up, especially, like, in the real world, not, like, just inside, like, a classroom.
And I learned how important like discussions are in classes and not just having the teacher lecture. I feel like having an entire group discuss something really helps me learn a lot better than just a teacher saying something and us having to like write it down.
I think one of my biggest takeaways is the opportunity to work with the adjusted learners. I'd never worked with them before this year, and now I spend 3 periods a day in there. I love it in there. And it really, like, now that's what I want to do with my future. So I think it's just like, there's so many other things, like not just the adjusted learners that we do, like the freshman campus or the tours, and there's just so many different ways to get involved in this class. I kind of look at this class more of like an opportunity than a class.
once again to like bore your buddies? Like, how do you do it?
It's not hard at all. We actually have an event this Sunday at Rita's if you want to come. Email Miss Hanson. We would love to have you. Just show up. We're always looking for more people to join. So it's a great time. It really is.
Also, the event's this Sunday, guys. Show up.
Any more questions?
I mean, don't all ask us questions at once.
Patience. 100% patience. Since we're such a big group, like you can't always just have it your way or do what you want to do. Sometimes you have to let other people take the lead, and that's another great form of leadership that I feel like we've all learned in this class is learning when to let other people take the lead and learning when it's okay for you to take the lead.
I feel like being collaborative with a lot of people, like sometimes I feel like for me it's hard to be able to not work with others, but like sometimes if you're in like a group with like certain people, that like maybe you might not enjoy as working with, that like don't motivate to do like the project. It's kind of hard, but I feel like with leadership in action, like it really helps like realize like, okay, like if you strategize certain ways, you can get everybody in your group to work.
Something that I have improved on is my confidence, which I think I'm already a very confident guy. I'm a very confident guy already, but this class made me more open to what I'm actually saying, and I'm more confident in what I answer and like how I go about whatever I need to say.
Also, problem solving. I feel like a lot of the time, just like in regular classes, if you have a question, like you just go ask your teacher, but like Welcome and Walmart really encourage us to like find our own solutions and like plan everything out ourselves, so that definitely improves as a skill in this class.
Alright, let's give it up for this group. Alright, hey, thanks to everyone that was here. Very respectful for coming back. You'll hear other presentations. Have a great rest of your day. And you can give me this sheet. Hey, our group.
Miss Bryce!
Youth and Law, we have says class. So, come over here.
Testing. Where are we sitting? Yeah. Yeah, it's gone. No, it's not there. I went there last summer. Wait, did you put it? I don't know how many spaces. Are we good? I have this one. Needs that surgery.
Yo, bro, I'm gonna be goon maxing the whole time. Awesome. Right by the camera too is crazy. Oh shit!
It's right! It's right!
We're gonna get it on camera.
It's right!
No. Dude, I'm still wondering about that project, bro. Like, they have nothing to show about it.
Alright, trickle into the front. Make sure you talk to your teacher. They'll tell you where to sit. Sit towards the front, please.
I'm not trying to get up.
Let's just sit.
What's up? One takeaway. One takeaway? No, Son! Wait, what's your... Yes, I do. What is it? Oh, you do. Okay, so
Make sure every phone's away, AirPods away.
It's a nugget, bro. We're gonna find out. What's a nugget? You get it, but we want a nugget. What's a nugget? One, two, three, bro.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Leadership Summit 2026. This is our 4th year doing this for our Leadership in Action class. Our Leadership in Action students are over here, so first off, let's give them a round of applause. All right, we're gonna have 2 groups today present on discipline and then another on habits. A couple ground rules here. No phones. We don't want to see any phones out at all. You are going to be paying attention. Our attention is with our speakers. They spent most of the year working towards this goal. This is kind of their final project for the class. You have a handout in front of you. Please write down some takeaways. The leadership nugget. A leadership nugget is something that we take away when we go over different topics. So we write down our leadership nugget journal, and that's where they're going to kind of base their presentation off of. This is kind of a TED Talk style presentation. They will have 12 or 15 minutes. They might ask you guys to be volunteers, so please participate, raise your hand. You might come up here and help them out. At the end, after both groups are done presenting, we're gonna have a Q&A. So have some questions ready to go, whether it's about their personal journey, about their topic, about the Leadership in Action class, them being a senior, what they're moving on to, whatever it is, have some questions ready to go, and they will be ready to answer those. All right, so our first group, take it away.
Alright, so we're going to start off with some introductions. My name is Jared. I am... You're right, yeah, we're going to wait till it's up there. Alright, yeah, so I'm Jared. I'm involved in cross country, track, and NHS.
Hi, I'm Addie. I'm involved in dance team, HOSA, NHS, and senior advisory.
Hi, I'm Josue, and I'm involved in Spanish Honor Society.
I'm Andrew. I'm involved in swim and water polo. So we're going to do an activity right away. We need 4 volunteers. No, I'll explain it once you get people up here. So, any volunteers?
4 volunteers. It's fun, promise.
And there is a prize afterwards, too.
We can pick on people. You don't raise your hand. We can have one of you guys. Just one. Alright, Nathan Miller, you're up here too. Alright, Hudson, you too, pal. Alright, one more. Alright, fine, Abby.
Work it, girl.
So we're going to have a timer set up for 90 seconds. You guys can go to either 30, 60, or 90 seconds. You're going to hold the weights out at your side like this. And you're going to hold for however long you want, at a maximum of 90 seconds. You can't have this go.
Are you ready? Three. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1.
Cheer him on, guys. Like,
Let's go,
Palms down.
Come on, David. All 90.
if we see you drop, you are done. Don't cheat.
Go, Abby. Get it on, son.
You're getting tired by now, huh?
Alright, 30 seconds. You can stop if you want.
Go, get along.
Y'all gonna kiss?
Come on, you guys got it.
There's no pressure to quit, guys.
One smooch.
60 seconds.
30 more seconds. Yeah!
One takeaway, guys.
And you're good.
Yeah.
You guys can each get 1 Jolly Rancher.
1 Jolly Rancher. By the way, if they went different times, if like one dropped at 30, they still would have gotten the same prize.
So the point of this activity, we wanted to see with their own choice how disciplined they'd be if they want to stay the full 90 seconds, or if they were going to give out at like the minimum, which was 30 seconds, or give the like in the middle effort and stop at 60 seconds.
Okay, so now we have a video for you guys. This is Jocko, and he's going to explain what discipline really means. It's about 3.5 minutes, so enjoy.
What does discipline really mean? You know, besides waking up early, how do I employ it to all aspects of my life? What does it really mean?
Yes, discipline, it does start with waking up early. It really does. But that is just the beginning. And I always say that discipline is the root of all good qualities. But you have to absolutely apply it to things outside of just waking up early. It's everything. It's working out every day, making yourself stronger and faster and more flexible and healthier. Discipline is eating the right foods to fuel your system. It's about disciplining your emotions so you can make good decisions. It's about having the discipline to control your ego so your ego doesn't get out of hand and control you. It's about treating people the way you would want to be treated. And doing the tasks that you don't necessarily want to do, but that you know will help you or help your team. It's about facing your fears. It takes discipline to face your fears so you can conquer them. And that's what discipline is. Discipline means taking the hard road, the uphill road, to do what's right for yourself and for other people. It's so often the easy path that calls to us to be weak for that moment, to break down for that moment, to give in to the desire and the short-term gratification. But the discipline will not allow that. The discipline calls for strength and fortitude and will. It won't accept weakness. It won't tolerate another breakdown. The discipline can seem like it's your worst enemy. But the reality is, discipline is your best friend. It will take care of you like nothing else can. And it'll put you on that path. The path to strength and health and intelligence and happiness. And most importantly, it'll put you on that path to freedom.
Alright, so Jocko's an amazing role model for discipline. He's used it a lot for his life, so that was a great example. But here's our leadership nugget. This is what you should be writing down on your sheet. It is disciplined leaders lead by prioritizing a strict set of moral guidelines, fostering a team environment driven by integrity. It's a lot of words.
Alright, so the meaning of this nugget overall is that, like, oftentimes this discipline, you think of it as like a tangible thing, like, man, that guy, he's like really putting work in the weight room, all that. But really it starts with the mental. It starts with you following your moral compass. So what you want to understand here is that discipline starts mentally first, and then you translate it into the physical to improve, and also into school. Like, why do my homework now when it's due in a week? Well, when you do it now, you are following your moral guideline that I'm going to stay ahead, I'm going to stay on task, and I'm going to stay true to my own moral guidelines, that I will get my work done and do it on time, and my teachers can say, you know what, he's someone I can rely on, she's someone I can rely on to get the work done, to stay on task.
Do you guys need more time? Yes? Okay. Good? Okay.
Alright, so for my own personal story about like discipline, for me, cross country, my freshman and sophomore years, I really had a bad mindset. I really didn't have any discipline. In fact, my freshman year, I was so underprepared without having discipline that I was so fearful of racing because I knew that I thought I was gonna fail. So what I would actually do is I would take the thermometer and run it under warm water, so it made it look like I had a fever, which is something I truly regret. And then like I didn't have to race then. And that carried over into sophomore year, that mindset. And I didn't finish a full cross country season until my senior year because of injuries, because I was so underprepared. And then my senior year came around, and I feel like my mindset sort of switched, and I started to really value my teammates and say, you know what, I'm gonna follow my moral compass and say I'm not gonna let my teammates down. So I started to work day after day. I didn't miss any days on my like my schedule. I would take a rest day on Sunday, but other than that, I'd be running every day, improving myself. And by the end of this season, I actually made varsity, which was a truly incredible experience, something I'm incredibly proud of. And I actually ended up being named an honorary captain at the end of the year, which is something that doesn't usually happen. And I feel like that's really a outcome of my increased discipline, where I really just set the tone for myself and those around me. And I feel like that is something I carry with me for the rest of my life, pretty much.
So my story is a little different. It's more about consistency. I am involved in a lot at this school and outside. I dance competitively outside of school as well. And I really had to find ways to balance, like we just heard a presentation about balance the period before, and I've had to find ways to balance all of my activities so that I'm able to get it all done. And discipline is the main driving force for my life. If anybody knows me, they know that I pretty much get assignments done as soon as they come out. I don't know, I am very
motivated to do my work, to get the stuff I need to get done because my future depends on it in a way. I have a lot of goals that I set for myself, and so I make sure that I do what I need to do in high school now so that I'm successful later. Some people would call me a little overbearing for that because I do sometimes pass up opportunities to hang out with friends so I can get stuff done, and I know that that disappoints some people, and it disappoints myself too, because I definitely wish that I would have implemented more free time into my schedule so that I can hang out with my friends more and give myself some grace. But also, I've also learned that saying no is a great form of discipline. It may not seem like it, but as leaders, we need to know how to say no to things so that we give ourselves grace, that we relax, and we learn how to take on a day that's all for rest and relaxation. It's so important that we let our bodies reset, because I would not be able to do anything for host at MCHS dance team or outside dance if it wasn't for the days that I gave myself to rest. And even if it looks like I'm lazy or not wanting to hang out with people, it's because I'm letting my body recharge so I can keep going for the things that really matter to me and that are going to help me for my future.
So we asked students around the school different questions, like around discipline. The first question, we wanted to target how disciplined they are by themselves and like when no one's watching. And the question says, a coach tells you to train on your own for an hour. How likely are you to actually complete the full hour of training to the best of your ability? Most of our students said that they gave it a 4, which meant that they are more likely to fully complete the activity compared to just do 30 minutes or not do it at all. And then the second question asked, on a scale of 1 to 5, how strictly do you stick to a routine on a daily basis? We wanted to see how people use discipline to stay on track to their goals and basically keep the same routine over and over again with consistency. And most students that we interviewed said that they keep a really good routine going and don't distract themselves from the routine. Next, we wanted to see how they value discipline with schoolwork. So we asked them if they turn in homework on time before the due date or if they turn it in late. Most students tend to turn their homework in on time and are efficient with their work, which is a good thing. And then the next question says, if a coach or PE teacher says to do 4 to 8 reps of an exercise or drill, how many reps are you doing? We wanted to see how disciplined they are to give their maximum or minimum effort. This was sort of the same concept that we did with our activity, with our weight activity. We wanted to see if they would do the most they can do or if they would just cut it off at the minimum. And our survey results showed that most people would be in the middle. It's 52% of students that would do 6 reps, and the good thing is that only 18.7% of people said that they do the minimum. The last question we asked was, what time do you go to bed on weekdays? The point of this question is we wanted to see how people stay disciplined for their next day, because it ties into how you do in school, or if you have any other activities. You need to be well rested, and we wanted to see how people take that into consideration when it's that time, like when nighttime comes around. And from the survey, 37.3% of people said they go to bed around 10 to 11 p.m. So, which isn't too bad. They're still getting roughly around 7 hours of sleep.
All right, and then we asked some people if they'd like to be interviewed, and we got a few responses for our interviews. So for this first interview question, we asked junior DeMarcus Brown and senior Noah Etten, in your own words, how would you define discipline? And DeMarcus said, discipline is an art, but also a necessity. You need it to get better in any sport and subject, while you also need to nurture it with hardships and challenges. And then Noah said discipline is the determination and self-control to do what is best for your future, even when it's inconvenient in the moment. So both of them are saying that you need to stay disciplined through hard times and really like stick with your plan, stick with your goals, stick with your routine, and eventually you'll get there through thick and thin. Next, we asked freshman Ximena Trinidad and junior Mason Sines, what role does discipline play in your life? Ximena said, discipline plays an important role in my life. It creates the willingness to try every day and work hard at school and outside of school towards anything that's in front of me. And Mason said, discipline allows me to put time and energy into tasks that I'm unwilling to do but need to do, such as homework or studying for a test. Again, they're saying that it helps them stick with their goals, stick with the routine, and just push through what's difficult, knowing their ultimate goal and the reward for that goal. And finally, we asked senior Nia Varela, what motivates you to be disciplined on a daily basis? Nia said, my main motivation is my vision for the future. I want to become a pathologist, so I have to do my best through thick and thin to make this come true. I also think about my family and what they had to do in order for me to have the opportunities presented to me. So again, Nia is saying that just you've got to stick with things, keep your ultimate goal in mind. That'll really help you stick with your routines and stay disciplined.
So this is last slide. This is what I call the discipline cycle. So the misconception with discipline doesn't prevent failure; it prepares you for it. So if you look, when you have lack of discipline, when you fail, you're not prepared enough because you don't have like the basis for why you do what you do and why you do it. So if you don't have that moral compass, you fail, and then what happens is you start to become lazy, and eventually you shut down. That's what happened to me in my freshman and sophomore years of cross country, especially. When you have discipline, though, you prepare for failure. So when you fail, you have that moral drive to say, I'm going to come back even stronger the next time, or in my case, like if that next season, I'm going to come back stronger the next season. I'm going to put in the work so that this failure doesn't happen again, or when I do fail again, it'll be failing at a goal that I never thought I would be able to reach in the first place. So just know that discipline is preparing you for failure. It doesn't prevent it.
Thank you guys, that's our presentation.
Great job, guys. All right, now we have our habits group.
Leave me alone. Alexis, don't be. I didn't look like that. Alexis, don't be. I thought that was so fun.
Hi everyone, today our topic is going to be on habits. Who are we? I'm Natalie. I'm involved in wrestling, flag football, and senior advisory. And I think habits are really important for not only students, but student athletes, because with like late games and practices, we can really fall into bad habits and not doing our work, which leads us to be like not 100%.
I'm Ava. Okay. I'm on the soccer team. I'm also part of like MCHS and SALT, and I think it's really important to like learn about like time management to like keep up with all of your work while having a busy schedule.
My name's Holly, and I was a part of girls basketball, flag football. I was part of the NHS and Key Club. And one habit I always struggle with is procrastination, especially after like when I was in season having a full day of school, having 2 hours or more of like practice or a game, and then having to come home and do my homework, and I just could never just bring myself to do it.
Our leadership nugget is the potential of your leadership reflects the quality of your habits. Okay, so for our Ignite, we're going to do a little game called the Leadership Race, and I'll need some volunteers. If you volunteer, you'll get a piece, like a box of candy. So please volunteer, okay, yeah. Anyone else?
No.
Yeah.
I know you want that box.
Preferably not people in our class.
Wait,
Anyone else?
Go with me, bro.
Yep.
Go, you want that box. Go. I have to wait for it.
I can take 3 more.
Come on. No, Alexis, you go, bro.
Yeah.
You go by yourself, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, you ain't got crazy on this side. Yo, someone do it.
And Nadia and Alexa, you can come up too.
That's basically me.
Right here.
Nadia, Alexa. True. So technically I should get that box.
Okay, so you're all going to stand in a straight line, and I'm going to ask you a few questions. Come towards like the middle, sorry. I don't want you to. So I'm either going to say step forward, and you're going to step forward if it applies to you, or you're going to stay in the same spot, and I'm going to say step backwards if it applies to you, okay? Step forward if you like taking charge. Step forward if you've ever helped someone learn something new. Step backward if you are scared of attention. Step forward if you've ever worked on a team project. Step backwards if you usually feel uneasy about making decisions. Step forward if you believe listening to others is important. Step forward if you've ever tried to solve a problem for your friends. Step backwards if you usually wait for others to lead. Step forward if you think it's good to encourage others. And then lastly, don't fall off stage. Step forward if you've ever had to explain something to a group. Good job. Thank you guys. You guys can come straight up here.
No, I hate all of you guys.
So, the purpose of that activity is to help students recognize that leadership comes in many forms for everyone. By stepping forward and backwards based on personal experiences and traits, participants reflect on their own strengths, challenges, and habits. The game encourages everyone's self-awareness and shows that leadership is not only about taking charge, it's about listening to others, helping others, and teamwork. So what does our nugget mean? Your ability to be a good leader on a team or in a class and in day-to-day life isn't just about being popular. It's mostly about the small things you do, from being kind to others, helping others, and leading the way.
Okay. To better understand strong habits, we interviewed Coach Bierbauer. He explained that successful students build resilience through consistency. He called it one more rep mentality, doing a little extra every day, even when it's hard. He also emphasized compound habits, meaning small positive actions repeated over time, creating major growth. Coach Bierbauer said that students who perform well are reflective, set clear goals, prioritize nutrition and recovery, and stay disciplined even when life gets challenging. According to him, strong habits are often easy to spot because those students stay motivated and bounce back quickly from setbacks. And then we also had an anonymous student interview. We got this interview to get a first-hand perspective from your peers, and they shared that one of their most helpful habits is planning out their They reduce stress and create more freedom later. They also explain that bad habits lead to stress and feeling overwhelmed. This interview shows the habits directly impact not only grades but also mental health, motivation, and balance in their daily life. And then our final interview was with Mr. Haggerty, and he reinforced many of the same ideas. He said that students who performed well usually have clear goals, strong aspirations, work hard, follow directions, and stay consistent. He also pointed out that while first impressions can give some clues about a student's habits, truly understanding someone takes time. He emphasized that the importance of building relationships and recognizing that every student has different motivations and challenges. His perspective shows that strong habits are powerful, but support and understanding also play a huge role in helping students succeed. Overall, all of these interviews and examples show that success and leadership are not built overnight. They are created through daily habits, discipline, and consistency. Whether it's in school, sports, or life, the habits we choose every day determine the kind of person and leader that we become.
Okay, now we're going to take a look at some of the results from our habit survey. Starting on the left, we looked at how many students actually set goals for themselves. As you can see, the vast majority of respondents are quite proactive. Over 85% of people scored themselves a 3 or 4, meaning that for most of us, identifying what we want to achieve is a regular part of our routine. However, when we look at the chart on the right, how often people actually stick to their goals, you can see that the picture shifts a little bit. Not as many people are on like the level 4 where they always stick to it, and more people moved to a level 2. And then on this next one on the left, we asked about taking responsibility for mistakes. You'll notice that nobody chose the lowest rating, and an overwhelming majority, over 90%, ranked themselves at a 3 or 4. This suggests a strong culture of ownership and high integrity within our school. Turning to the right, we look at how comfortable people feel approaching someone in a leadership role. While majorities still feel positive at a 3 or a 4, we see much wider spread here. There's a significant number of people at a level 2, indicating that for a portion of our students, there are still some barriers or hesitations when it comes to upward communication. And then moving on, we asked the group, do you think your habits are benefiting you or others around you? The results show a very high level of self-awareness. 2/3 of our respondents believe their habits provide a dual benefit, helping both themselves and the people they work or live with. Another, about 1/3, see their habits as primarily a tool for personal improvement. What's interesting is only a tiny fraction, about like 2%, feel their habits benefit others exclusively. This tells us that for the vast majority of the students here, self-improvement isn't a solo journey. It's seen as a way to add value to the entire group. When we better ourselves, we're clearly aiming to lift those around us too. And then we also wanted to talk about some bad habits that students in our school might face. One being screen time. So we want everyone to take out their phones. And everyone, please go to your settings and go to your screen time. Okay, just looking at from today, how many of you spent an hour or more on your phone? Raise your hand. How about like 2 hours?
That's crazy. And
So like thinking about it, most of the day already, unless you were up like past midnight, you've been at school. And you've also probably been on your computers. An average teenager should probably only be on a screen from 1 to 2 hours a day. And thinking about it, well, what time is it? It's 10:30 in the morning, and some of you have already reached 2 hours today on your phone. According to the National Center of Health Statistics, 50% of teenagers 12 to 17 spend 4 or more hours on their phone every day. And that's not including all the time you spend maybe watching TV or just at school on your Chromebooks doing your work. And then another thing is poor sleep habits. This can just affect your day-to-day life, and probably some of you who spend a lot of time on like the 4 or more hours a day on your phone, you're probably staying up when you could be going to bed. Poor sleep habits directly affect everyday functions, reduce emotional regulation, and other things. And then according to Johns Hopkins medicine, teenagers need somewhere between 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night.
What's our takeaway? True leadership is daily practice, from planning your day to owning your mistakes. Your actions define your identity. By mastering your routines, you can unlock your potential. Thank you.
Alright, as our group gets situated up front, we're thinking of some questions that we can ask them. Again, if it's about the class, if it's about their topic, their journey, them as seniors, maybe things that they have gone through that you want to know about. So raise your hands, they will call on you and we'll kind of share out.
Who's that? Hey, dude. Dorothy, I wonder if I ask a question. I want to box this.
Okay, does anyone have questions? Yeah, Sawyer.
What would be like the best way to form good habits?
I would say it takes like at least like 3-ish months to form a habit. So when you start a habit, you have to stick to it. That's like the only way you're gonna form a habit.
I think just practicing small parts of the habit will help you too. Just implementing it in your everyday life, from like working out, you can try to do a certain amount, like 30 minutes of walking, or eating healthy. You can just try to have healthy snacks throughout your day. So that's
How do you guys stay disciplined with your habits? How do you stay disciplined with your habits?
I have like a very specific schedule that I follow. Like every month, I have a very specific morning routine. I feel like just practicing it every single day helps you to just like get used to it and keep doing it. It's like muscle memory. So if you practice a habit enough, it becomes easier to stay disciplined.
For me, I try to rely on my teammates and have them motivate me to get better. Just knowing that if I stop working, then I'm gonna let them down.
Similar to Addie, I stick to a routine and habits, and if I feel like quitting, I call myself an idiot and tell myself to keep going.
I think for me, my biggest factor of motivation is definitely my future.